Welcome to our session about SLES for SAP Application 16, what to expect. The speakers of today are Dimitra Maria Cazzoli, who is product owner of SLES for SAP, and me, Uli Schara. I'm a sub-solution architect working for SUSE at the SAP Linux Labs. Today we will give you a bit of an introduction to the topic. Then we will talk more in deep about SLES for SAP Application 16. We will talk about lifecycle SLES 15, SLES 16, and SLE Micro a little bit. And then we will have a sneak preview on some of the features of SLES for SAP 16. It's not really a demo, it's a sneak preview. And then we will have, of course, a question and answer section. And as we are not product ready yet with SLES for SAP 16, we need your input and would highly appreciate if we get some input from you. What would be your needs and what can we do for you? So this would be great if we do this in the Q&A session or during the session. So let's start. As I said, I work as a SAP solution architect in the SAP Linux Labs for SUSE, and the SAP Linux Lab has been founded in 1999, 25 years ago, by SAP and different soft and hardware vendors to create a place for tight collaboration, co-innovation, all around the topic of Linux, with the mission that Linux is the #1 platform for all SAP workloads. So, for example, the HANA database was first created on Linux and runs only on Linux, and all the software has been developed on Linux with Linux compilers and so on. And now I hand over to Dimitra, who will give you some more insights.
So let's see why SUSE Linux for SAP workloads. First of all, we have 70% of all SAP applications on Linux, 85% of SAP HANA installations, 90% of SAP workload on Linux on Azure, 99% of IBM Power, and 100% of Business One. SUSE is the reference platform for Arise with SAP, and also owns various internal and external systems by SAP. Over the years, SUSE worked with SAP and ecosystem partners to deliver SAP solutions first to the market. With over 20 years of history of collaborations with SAP, SUSE has over 300 success stories and case studies. Now, before we get into details, we would like to clarify a few things. So, we're here to take a look in the future of SLES, which means that we're talking about a product that will be not released within this year. And so not everything is 100% decided, and there's a chance what we present here to change down the road, of course, based on your feedback and your needs. So that's why we encourage you to please speak up. Now the reason we're all here, SUSE Linux Enterprise for SAP Application 16. We need to make some introductions first. So SUSE Linux Framework 1 is a layered approach to SUSE Linux code bases and common processes. Some of you might have heard it to go by the internal code name of ALP. It is used to be building operating systems and components, but it is not a product itself. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server 16 and SUSE Linux Enterprise Server for SAP Application 16 are the new versions of the existing market lead SLES 15 and SLES for SAP Applications 15. SUSE Linux Enterprise Micro 6 is a purpose-made, lightweight, and minimal OS with a focus on operational excellence and security for container-native infrastructures. We are also expanding our ready-to-run development container, currently known as SLE BCI or SUSE Linux Enterprise Based Container Images for short. So now that we clear out the name, I need to let you know that SUSE will continue supporting general purpose SLES and specific versions for SAP. And also SLES 16 and SLES for SAP 16, they share the same core, including kernel, systemd, and side-by-side schedule, but they differentiate on packages, including their life cycle. Some design principles. So our next generation Linux is offering a minimal OS optimized for SAP. And we are ready to run also SAP workloads. We also offer compartmentalization, and we're CY 2038 ready, and we can assure you that we are here for the long run. So some questions that might come up to your head. So why should I choose? What should I choose for my business? When should I migrate? Why, for example, choose SLES for SAP applications? So first of all, we offer support with integration of new features into SLES for SAP. Additionally, the smaller footprint of SLES for SAP applications allows us to enlarge general support from 18 months to 5 years. We can offer an independent lifecycle of packages. SAP systems can be optimized directly for the workload in respect to security and setup. Currently, some SAP-only packages need to be added to base system of SLES to be available for all customers. Of course, we offer new price points, which gives customers the flexibility they need for development and production. Note that the SLES for SAP applications commercial product allows using SLES instead of, if needed, non-SAP workloads. And now a sneak preview on what's going to be included on the next SUSE Linux Enterprise server. We, of course, have an operating system designed, tested, certified for SAP workloads, SUSE High Availability Extension, and Subtune. And some noticeable changes from 15. So we have Network Manager everywhere instead of WICT. Our last database has a new format. We offer security framework with SUSE Linux. And we use Cockpit as a configuration tool. A few YASs are still supported for functionality that it's not yet in Cockpit. And configuration management, we use Ansible and Salt, because there were a few questions about that. Additionally, we no longer offer NIS support. Kernel can now optionally execute 32-bit, and we can now support only systemd. In short, many components are changing, others are getting updated, others are getting replaced or dropped. But as I mentioned before, we are committed to SLES 15 for the long run. And a new code base stream always raises some questions on what about the previous one, when to start switching. We're here to answer all those questions. If we don't have the time to answer it now, please come to our booth or contact us through the communication from the contact slide that you will see later on, and hopefully we can answer those for you. So SUSE has with SLES 15 an active maintained product family which will be valid and usable for the next years. If you're using it, there's no need to change on short notice. The introduction of SP6 and SP7 offers the choice to get a new major kernel version as well as other major components refreshed with SP6. This enables customers to plan migration beforehand to the next code base without the pressure of time. In short, we offer yearly minor releases, and specifically SLES 16 will have 18 months of support that, as you can see on the graph, kind of overlaps. SLES for SAP Application 16 offer 5 years of support. SLES 15 SP6 general support is until 2031 and is followed by LTSH options until 2037. And SLES 15 SP7 will be released in 2026 with 6 years of general support. And with that, I pass the ball to my colleague Ulrich for a more exciting part of the presentation.
Okay. Thank you, Dimitra. When we have to think the SLES for SAP 16, for SAP application 16 in our hands, of course we want to deploy this. So to be cloud ready and for such things like virtualization, we will offer, of course, deployable images that can be configured with combustion and ignition, or for the cloud init. If you boot this image without configuration, then you will end up in a minimal configuration dialog where you give root password and such things. We also will do the more classical approach with a bootable installer. This is based on the open source project Agama, most probably. And advantages would be you can use this remotely via your web browser, or you have a normal display where you can enter all the things via the console. Sorry?
This Agama is new to me. This is also based on AutoJust and autoinst.xml file, or something new?
Agama is an installer to do everything to install. You got a kind of menu where you can select what you want to install. And Agama will also honor old AutoJust files. So if you're coming with AutoJust, doing deployments, then you will be able to reuse them. But this will be a topic a bit later. I tell you about this. But Agama will not understand everything from AutoJust. AutoJust is very complex, big thing. So you can also do, of course, installation via network, fixie boot, as usual for operating system. For automated installs, we do basic installation, and on top of that, you can use Ansible playbooks or Salt cookbooks, as we do with SLES 15 nowadays. Customers using AutoJust may reuse their AutoJust profiles, but Agama does not understand every word that's written in there. It simply ignores the things it does not know about. SLES for SAP application 16 migration topic. This is one of the topics where we will need your input, and it would be highly appreciated if you give us that. So maybe some of you might say if they would like to have in-place migrations from SLES 15 to SLES 16, or if they say, oh, this thing is too new, I will completely reinstall and restore my backups. So this is one of the things we want to know, how much effort we would put into there to make this as smooth as possible.
I'm quite sure our customers would love to be able to in-place migrate.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's better to know for sure.
From a technical point, a new machine and backup restore always preferred. But when we look at how much time do the SAP people need to set up SAP again, if you can't just do a simple backup restore.
Yeah.
And then they will say, please do an in-place upgrade.
Great. Thank you very much. Now we come, the next topic is SLES for SAP Application 16 System Management. As we told before, we will also change the system management UI and tool. It will be Cockpit, a web-based UI written in JavaScript and React. And this shows you in the minimal configuration an overview over your system. You got the possibility to use the modules you see listed on the left-hand side, and you can do user management there. You can do already network configuration. Included in network configuration will be the firewall management and configuration. You can manage your system D services, starting, stopping, looking at log files and all these things. You can also administrate your storage. You can put on RAID systems. You can do logical volume management and partitioning and all these things. You can automatically detect your software updates and apply them with the Cockpit module. And Cockpit is the successor of our old, yet another setup tool, Just, and functionality that is not yet available in Cockpit will be done with the API of the Just, and so the functionality will not be lost, but step by step we will abandon Just and go for Cockpit. One of the most wanted topics by customers is about security. SLES for SAP Application 16 is built, of course, in a secure manner. This is done by Common Criteria certification. The product itself relies on FIPS standard and follows processes depicted in various frameworks that are available. And it's one of the highly securest operating system available on the market with the highest certifications available. And we will continue to do so with SLES for SAP 16. We will change from UpArmor to Security Enhanced Linux, SE Linux, and this will help you, if you run it in enforced mode, to be armored against zero-day exploits or O-day exploits, how they're called, because applications cannot break out of the jail that SE Linux is setting for them. We also will give the customer the choice to run the operating system with a read-only root file system, or and of course then transactional updates, or with a traditional read-writable root file system, but it's the choice of the customer. Another heavy topic is virtualization. SLES for SAP Application 16 will not come with a KVM stack. But, as Dimitra pointed out before, with the SLES for SAP Application 16 subscription, you are allowed to run SLE Micro, SLES, or SLES for SAP Application 16, of course. You can use SLE Micro, our dedicated host operating system for virtualization and containerization. And we do offer efforts, of course, to certify VMs for SAP workloads on top of KVM and QEMU. But there was another session yesterday, I think, by Gerion and Arne Wolf, who told many things about it. And if you get questions in this regard, please come to our booth. We talk to you. SLES for SAP Application 16 runs, of course, then on top of SLE Micro 6 in a VM. And now we come to an X demo, because we have no product that we can install, we cannot show anything. But we have a sneak preview about the SAP components management tool that will be included in SLES for SAP application 16. So you see the overview of the system health and so on, things you see in standard cockpit. But we have already coded SAP install wizard, so to say, where you can easily set up your SAP system by giving all the parameters you normally give, like SID, instance number, master password for the installation, and the topology for the SAP HANA routing. Then you give the place where your installation media are situated, and then you can install HANA by just clicking the start button. If you want to install S/4HANA, you have to give all the other media as well. Another great thing in this module is that you can not only do local installs, but you can do remote installs as well. So if you come, okay, that's later. For every item in this form, there is a nice little online help that tells you what you can do and what you have to do to make it happen. We also, as I said before, you can do an install also remotely on other machines, so you would be able to create a HANA cluster very easily, installing the SAP software, install the CoroSync and pacemaker stack, and say where the nodes are, where the HANA software is installed, and you're ready to go. At the moment, there are 3 scenarios supported by this wizard. That's the performance optimized, which means you have a primary database and secondary databases just getting the online logs from the first database. There will be the cost optimized, where you have a third HANA database running on one of the nodes additionally. And of course, the multi-tier setup, where you got 2 databases which are in system replication, plus the third one that's not in the cluster, and also receiving the system replication logs of HANA. And that's it for today. And now we come to question and answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being
Thank you
here
very
today.
much.